I feel like Vince, every time something bad comes out about Saudi Arabia, he just looks at the audience and he's like, I'm gonna make him say, make him say, H. H, come here, make him say,
Mm-hmm. I think that no matter...
I don't want to do that, Vince. I really don't. Make him say,
It just goes to show that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if wrestling's doing good everywhere else. It doesn't matter if there's actual competition that has done better than SmackDown in ratings, which, I mean, an asterisk by it, but still. And you're still not bringing it together.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you think. So welcome to Fight Boys, the weekly podcast about professional and not so professional wrestling. I'm the one that makes them say, Dylan.
I'm the one that's not stealing the early bits. No, I steal every bit. It's me, the B, Blake Tanner.
And I'm the guy who's apparently just given the intro to Dylan at this point. I've gone down and I've presented it to him like Excalibur, like, this is yours now.
Listen, I'm gonna give you the same advice that Cody gave MJF, which was the most important thing he was ever told, which was make sure you make him say,
My favorite part of that entire fucking bit, though, was MJF rushing out to the ring begging Cody not to throw out his tie, and then Cody turns to throw it, and it's just MJF going, no, don't! And then that's the end of this week's Being the Elite.
That's fantastic. I can't wait to watch that in 7 weeks when I have time to watch it.
Yeah.
Listen, I start the opening because I need to fucking sleep, and, like, somebody's got to.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
If we recorded this, if Blake's freaking theater people got their shit together and he got out at a reasonable time, I wouldn't have to do this.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst thing is we do have our shit together. It's just a long-ass play.
So did anyone watch last week's Dynamite? Because I don't know. It felt like the weakest one they've had so far, but that might have just been because I was very tired and at work.
It's that second one. It's really that second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I heard good things about it. I wasn't able to watch any of it.
There was the tag team matches that were pretty good, and like all that. Like, no,
well,
I'm pretty sure it was just you.
The weird thing for me was the fact that this week was Lucha Bros and Private Party, right?
No, that was last week.
What? I don't know, dude. All I know is it was a very weird. There was a weird energy versus when Lucha Bros took on Private Party. I don't know what it was, but it seemed like Private Party was like going into business for themselves and doing some Shawn Michaels Hulk Hogan selling at points. But I was just like, okay, I guess this is the energy these are bringing today.
We went over this like the week it happened. It was just you. You need to focus on SCU versus the Dark Order, which got both teams over. And because SCU used a different finisher than the one they botched that other time.
Yeah.
And we're going to go with that. We're going to go with the fact that, you know, they filmed Dark afterwards, and that was awesome for the, like, third, however many weeks in a row they've been doing it.
What were the matches for Dark this week?
Let's see here. There was Sonny and Dustin Rhodes versus QT Marshall and Peter Avalon, which was a really good match. It was really weird because you saw Sonny Kiss there, and then it was with Dustin, and you were just like, oh, that like there's at least some connection there. They oddly enough had matching outfits in terms of color scheme, but that was a pretty good match. Like Peter and QT, like, they did a good job of being like the come from behind heels, but like still somewhat incompetent.
Yeah.
There was a women's 4-way match between, was it Sadie Gibbs, Penelope Ford, Allie, and Sakura, which, like, Sadie Gibbs, like, they said that, like, 27, only been doing it for like 2.5 years, but she came out with a look where I was like, oh, you're the champion out of the 4 of these people. It's not any of these other people. Like, she came out and I was like, you look like you kick ass in your spare time. Like, Penelope Ford looks like she probably does some other stuff, but that's probably just me associating her with Joey Janela. And then Allie is like really like, you know, has adorable energy, but no one's gonna do that. And then like, you know, Sakura's like really old and like very talented, like extremely talented wrestler, but just kind of looks like the Japanese embodiment of a garden gnome, and I can't get over that impression. If you look at her, like she look like it's all like there's like I don't know, it doesn't look like she has like hips or anything. It's just like one, like it's not like a stick person, because like she's too wide for that. It's really offsetting. Like it looks like a lawn statue. That's the only thing I can compare it to. If you dressed a lawn statue like Freddie Mercury, that would be Sakura.
Oh.
Like I said, really talented. Really enjoyed the match because of her. The only thing I can say against Sadie Gibbs is like you could tell that she was like, we're supposed to do this move next, but the other person wasn't quite there yet. So I could be like, okay, arm drag. Okay, she kind of messed that up. Also, for some reason during that match, there was weird cuts. Like I missed like at least 30 seconds of this match, some of which was important because Sadie Gibbs did a top rope suicida or a top rope tope that I didn't get to see. And she was just all of a sudden there on the floor grabbing Penelope forward, and they were like, oh, her momentum carried her. It's like, yeah, apparently past the cut.
Yeah.
And then the final...
I feel like there were some weird... Or I've been reading about weird cuts in that match. It's like...
Yeah, I think it was just an editing problem, or like something happened with the feed. I don't know. The main event was Jimmy Havoc versus Darby Allin versus... Jack Evans, which was
shit.
Which
damn,
was amazing. I was sad because Jimmy lost again, and like that's my boy. I've been like rooting for them this whole time. Man cannot buy a win at this point, mainly because Darby's there, and like they're like, oh, we have to put Darby over, and I was like, you've put Darby over. You could have had Jimmy pin Jack Evans and like at least built a secondary person. Now you've just put like Jimmy Havoc at like 1-6.
Yeah,
like it's just. By the way. Like Jack Evans is, I don't know. I don't like every time I watch Jack Evans move, I'm just like, how are you like just like his entire, you know, there's the old Bruce Lee saying of like be like water. Jack Evans is the embodiment of that somehow. Like effortlessly fluid motion all the time. He did a freaking suplex on the ramp to Jimmy Havoc, and then like matrixed his way back up to his feet. There was no kip up. He just upped himself to his feet.
Yeah, Evans is one of those guys that I got into him about, I don't know if he was wrestling in Mexico or if he was on a hiatus or something, but I got really into Jack Evans during a time when he was not around a lot. And I just got...
No, he was in AAA in Mexico.
Okay, and I just got mad. I couldn't see more of him. And then once I started seeing him like team with Angelico, I was like, oh, fuck. Okay, yeah, I'm fine with this.
One of my favorite bits in all of PWG, and I really need to buy High Spots just so I can go back and watch it, is there was a Bola, I think it was 2015, where Angelico and Jack Evans faced each other, and Jack Evans did Drunken Master. Like, he went to the bar there, drank, and then pretended to be... And he did the whole thing, and it worked flawlessly.
That's great.
And that was when I gained the most respect for Jack Evans. That's why I can never fully root against Jack Evans, because I'm like, you're too entertaining. Like, your heel shtick, like all the time in Lucha Underground and everything I've ever seen Jack Evans in, I was like, you're too, I can't. You're doing great heel work, but I can't. I like you too much as a performer.
Well, as weak as I thought last week's Dynamite was, this week's is gonna be amazing because Morty, I'm gonna get the Judas effect, Morty, I'm gonna hit him with it. Morty, Rick, I don't think that's a pretty good idea. I got him.
Does TNT own Cartoon Network? How does that work?
Yeah, I think they're all owned by the same company because TBS is also owned by that, and I know they have Rick and Morty. And someone on Twitter was just like, if this is the step towards the Tim and Eric crossover that I've always wanted, it'll make me very happy.
I think that would be something that I'd want to watch. How do you compare to something like the majesty and one-shot wonder of Firefly Funhouse that will continue on to your show? Ah, fuck it, just bring in Tim and Eric. They'll do weird shit.
We're gonna listen. We already brought in Jay and Silent Bob. Now we're bringing in Rick and Morty. We're bringing in tag teams. We're a tag team company.
Yeah. I don't...
TTC!
What's gonna happen? Like, is it gonna be a backstage segment? How the fuck are they gonna do this?
knowing the creators, they probably just made like a video.
Yeah.
There's probably just going to be like a vignette that they play. And they might have drawn the elite to beat the shit out of Rick. I don't know, but it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
I'm gonna really enjoy it, and I'm sad I can't watch it live.
And it's gonna be so bizarre seeing all of the people in the audience wearing the Rick and Morty masks that are given out. Which my favorite is people on Twitter were like, I wonder what Cody's big announcement he was gonna make last week is. And someone just went, oh, he's already made it, y'all. And it was the tweet where he said, everyone in attendance gets a free Rick and Morty mask.
By the way, y'all wanna come with me to the show in Jacksonville?
Hey, fuck you, dude. I'm waiting to see if I'm off for the Nashville show, because if I am, I'm going straight to Nashville for that one. I don't care. Blake, you can come if you want to.
I mean, if I'm not dead.
Yeah.
Like, if I am still among, like, the people who are alive from the neck up, I may just be in a coma.
Yeah.
So, Scottye, let's say that you can't get off for the Nashville show. Does that mean you're not in for the Jacksonville show?
I've got fucking fly me down there, and I will be. That's the only way. I cannot afford a flight.
I mean, it's 2 months from now. You just save like $1 a day.
You know how that math. That's how that math's out. I'm gonna fly Spirit there, Spirit back, and then not be able to afford gas on the way home.
Oh, buddy, no. That, with Spirit, that covers your seat choice price, not the price of the flight itself.
Yes. So, Dylan, how do you feel about the fact that Jake Hager's stealing your fucking gimmick and is just wailing on dudes' nads in a fucking MMA fight now?
God, I felt really bad for him because it looked like he was having a good fight, and then it just got away from him. Like he was trying to go like do a clinch, whatever. But, like, didn't know where he was, and then just straight there. Like, the dude dropped, like, a sack of potatoes and just stayed down.
It was straight. Like, no cup in the world could protect you from that.
Well, it happened twice. I feel like that was also part of it.
Also, how do y'all feel about them just calling it a straight no contest? Because I do feel like it was kind of accidental, but, oh man, it was rough.
Jake hadn't lost. Does this count as like a blight on his record at this point?
I mean, no contest is a no contest, like, whatever. Basically, it's like this fight didn't really happen, which is the best possible outcome, because they could have ruled it a DQ loss.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is also perfect for Inner Circle shit. Like, I loved the fact that they had Jericho.
They were there?
Yeah, they were there. Batista.
And they were... By the way, apparently during an interview, fucking Sammy Guevara is so goddamn committed to this gimmick, or he's the biggest douche I know, because he just took his shirt off during the interview in the crowd. Have you watched the Adam Devine comedy special on Netflix?
No.
Oh, there's a great part where he talks about how, like, somebody recognized him. He was like, how's it going? He put, like, up 2 peace signs. Like, that's an elite tier douche move. And, like, Sammy Guevara is pulling elite tier douche moves week after week. Like, all-star run here.
Should we discuss WWE's merch team right now, or are we gonna wait? Because it is something that definitely should be someone's heel this week.
So here's the thing. Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm of 2 minds about this whole endeavor.
And what y'all are talking about is, of course, Jordan Miles and everything that happened with his social media, from starting out on this real bad t-shirt design, all of the drama surrounding it, WWE's response, and just like how just rough it got there for a bit.
It was going pretty, like, net positive for him until he brought in Jay Lethal and called Jay Lethal and Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
On the one hand, I vaguely remember there being a Colt Cabana interview with Jay Lethal. It had to be like 3 years ago at least, where like he talked about like getting shit for like the Macho Man gimmick and all this, and like, you know, like not representing. I swear I'm pretty sure it was on there. I vaguely remember it. And I was like, I can see why you thought that. And because, like, he was right. Like, not even him. Cedric Alexander and, like, Moose.
Yeah.
Could not buy a title run at that part. Like, historically, ROH, very white championships.
Yeah.
And Latino. I'm sorry. They've gone Latino. will not go African American at all. One guy, two guys. I'm sorry, Xavier was like their second champion. So two black guys. Whole history of the company.
And I mean, Lethal was always booked strong too, and I mean, once he always seemed to have pretty solid gimmicks. It didn't feel like I don't know. It just felt like it was so strange that he brought him in like at the point that he did.
Like that. No, if he hadn't brought in, I think he was trying to get a hold of something, and he shouldn't have. But that was where everybody turned against him. And then things just kind of kept going bad. And then he apologized today, and it was essentially an apology, but not really an apology. And then Titus O'Neil, Booker T, and like one other person, like we're all like, you did this wrong, and you should shut the fuck up. Yeah. And I was like, so one of the most successful people.
Mm-hmm.
And Titus O'Neil are calling you out, and Titus O'Neil is like one of the greatest dads apparently. So like that's gotta feel disappointing.
Number one super dad, yeah.
Number one super dad.
I wish that Titus O'Neil was my dad. If like his lessons could be imparted on me. I mean
that'd be real weird.
It would be real weird, but you know,
I'd have a lot of questions about the genetics of that situation. I'll be 100% honest. Like your mom's genes would have to be strong AF.
Have you ever seen that film Twins? Apollo Crews and Blake Tanner in Twins, the remake coming soon.
I think that
would be almost as insensitive as Jordan Miles' t-shirt.
Especially like having Booker weigh in on the situation, someone who has talked about how much adversity and utter bullshit and racism he's had to deal with.
Yeah,
you gotta, I know Booker's like a company man right now through and through, but like, you gotta, I don't know, I can't speak anything more than just what happened and what other people have said, because I just don't, like, that's not anything I've ever experienced, and it's
one of those things that I was like, we have to talk about it, but also we are three crack-ass white boys, and like, I don't feel like we can weigh in. I feel like Booker did it all for us.
Yeah, exactly. Like, all I can do is say, this is what Booker said, and I trust his judgment on the situation much more than most anybody else's.
It's just Jordan had him a bad day.
Really.
Listen, do you know who had a worse day than that? WWE had a worse day, because that happened, and then the story broke about how they're not paying the NXT talent their TV bonus.
Yeah.
And then apparently in response to that, as it was reported today, people basically were like asking to be let go, because apparently they've stockpiled so much talent, they're having issues with lockers at the Performance Center.
Oh my god, what?
Yeah, there aren't enough ain't enough fucking holes to go around, man. No holes in the walls, bro. They gotta change on the floor.
You're here to take a space, not fill it. So you better beat the shit out of Bobby over there to get your locker.
You better take a sledgehammer to these walls and install it yourself. DIY.
Because that's what WWE's been doing with all this developmental stuff. Like, they've been just grabbing up all that talent so greedily, and there's no time for any of them.
I can't wait till a news report comes out next week that's like Mia Yim kicked Stokely Hathaway so hard in the nuts he had to give up his fucking locker for her.
No, my thing with that is I'm kind of happy. I'm kind of happy it finally reached a boiling. I've been waiting for years.
Yes. This is Dylan's dark side that he's just like, fuck yes, I love it.
The smart side.
Yeah.
Yes, I am the Lord there for a reason. No, because whenever NXT got announced, or whenever Finn Balor was like, NXT is the place to be, and everybody was like praising it, I was like, this has a cap. You know that, right? Like, either... Unless WWE got a lot better, because I had no faith in them back then. I'm pretty sure if you go back in the history of this show, that has been well documented for years. So I was like, there's only a matter of time before NXT like missteps somehow, unless Hunter takes over the company, which I doubted then. I still doubt now. Vince McMahon will dictate his will from beyond the grave. All of a sudden, the paperwork for SmackDown will somehow be torn up 2 hours before show.
You'll find one with just like good shit written on it.
Yeah, exactly.
New script.
But no, I knew that eventually, because they were grabbing so many good people, that it would backfire, and it is now. Now people aren't gonna come. Women might still, because they have the best women's division, because AEW's is still like trying to get there, and they don't have trainers like Sarah Del Rey, who's like fucking top tier. But like that's it at this point. Like if you're anybody else, unless WWE offers you a main roster deal, like you're not going to take that money knowing you have to A, go on TV, B, potentially have to tour soon because there's so many people, and like there's no guarantee you'll get paid your money. It's not going to happen. So finally, all of the people...
That's some TNA shit, though, isn't it?
TNA's doing better than that now. Impact paid everybody a pay raise.
They gave them a bonus. The fucking...
One wrestler cried because of the bonus. That was how much they needed it, and then the company gave it to him. Don Callis and Scottye Moore are doing better than Triple H and Vince McMahon right now. I need you to evaluate what universe you're in right now. I'm expecting Twilight Zone music to start playing over the top of this fucking show. Yeah. That's how fucking parallel universe this feels.
Also, quick aside, because Impact was brought up. After last week where I was talking about how amazing Impact is and how great they are, they then follow that up and say, oh, you think we were doing great with our like intergender shit and all that? By the end of the year, they are probably going to be the first ever televised wrestling show with a female world heavyweight champion. It will be Tessa Blanchard after beating the shit out of Sami Callihan. The minute I read
So what you're saying is we're going to have to add it to our prediction series.
Yes. The minute I read that Sami won the title, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Sami definitely deserves it. And then they were like... And then Tessa came out and approached him and stared at the belt. And I went, okay, fuck it. TNA just moved up the rankings so much further than it had already.
It's Impact Wrestling. Get it right. Yep. They've moved past the Vince Russo shit.
Yeah.
But no, I thought everybody thought she was going to win the freaking X Division title in that ladder match. And then, oh God, what was the fuck is his name? Austin, no, some dude, Austin Lee, I don't remember. Came in out of nowhere, kendo shot at her and took it, and they were like, "Oh, they really got me," because like, freaking Sami didn't win either, and then the tapings happened, and everybody was like, "Oh shit, Sami won," and then the next taping happened, and Tessa became #1 contender, and everybody was like, there was that meme, it's happening, it's actually happening.
Yeah,
we weren't prepared. We had put the streamers away.
Now.
No, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be some good times. Except everybody's like, and after she does that, after her contract expires, AEW needs to give her the money and steal her.
And just take her.
Because there's plenty of good female talent to go around, but since AEW is so unproven, and since their match quality isn't good yet, which is the one thing everybody's like, look at how bad. I was like, listen, you need to understand, it's not so much that AEW's quality isn't good, it's that it took WWE having a 20-year head start, and like, it's not like worlds of difference. Like, it's like sizable. It's probably like a good, like 30% better for the better matches, but like the bad ones are still bad in WWE, and at least AEW puts a women's match on like every show or every dark. There was a Raw where there just were no women. There was a Sausage Fest Raw last week. Like, what do you like? Oh yeah, no, totally. Those women's matches that aren't happening are so much better. At least there is women's wrestling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you gotta think how buck wild that is, with the fact that for every like male superstar they have, like they've got so many women on their roster that just don't get any time, period.
And at least like AEW will like switch people out every week so that multiple storylines can develop. Like, maybe not like episodically like the men's do, but they're there. There might be a backstage segment. Like, they'll at least keep a thread on some people.
Yeah.
Or even in the situations where people are going to be facing each other multiple times. Like, look at Darby Allin and Jimmy Havoc. How many times have they been in a match together? But it's never been like a one-on-one match. There's always been like a third element, or they've been in a tag matches. Like, there's always been something different.
There was. That was how they determined the number one contendership that Darby won.
They did. You're right. Yeah. But like, that they still all been different.
Yeah, they have. There's only been one not crazy like stipulation match, which is pretty good. But no, I'm excited. I'm more excited, and like I have more faith that AEW's women's division will get better than that WWE won't continue to fuck up the one that they have.
Yeah. Now, before we get into predictions for Racist pay-per-view, how do we feel about the Prince coming to NXT? Because that might have been the only reason why I say NXT beat AEW last week. Not ratings-wise, but at least as far as something big happening. Finn super smiley boy turning heel made me so happy.
I do have something to say because, and I'm really glad you made that point, Scottye, because that's still what WWE is all about. WWE, you'll never be able to beat them in their moments. It'll be very hard to beat them by just having big moments, because that's all WWE does now. They don't have a thorough through line. They don't have something that keeps you week to week. They'll have a big moment that pops you, and then they'll just keep going back to the same shit. And that's what worries me about NXT, because I don't want to, like, I'll only want to watch for the moments, and then, like, when it's a moment, I can see it anywhere
in
else.
A GIF. Like, you can see it in a GIF on Twitter, like how I found out about the Finn Balor thing, which, by the way, my favorite is someone captioned it and said, when you target the wrong wrestler in WWE 2K19, and he just fucking whips back and hits that Pele kick.
Not 2K20, though, because you auto-targeted 3 different wrestlers.
Yes, it is also probably the most well-executed heel turn, because it wasn't like Finn stayed behind for, like, a Seth Rollins sneak attack. It wasn't like he turned and, like, joined Undisputed Era. He was right next to him and just fucking backflipped and kicked him.
I was gonna say, the fucking precision of that. That was the best Pele kick he's ever done.
Yeah.
And he nailed Gargano in the face with it. Listen, I will only really pop for this if tomorrow he comes out in the light-up jacket and refers to himself as the real rock and roller. That's it. That's the only way. If he still, like, brings out the demon and shit for it, actually, no. I'll pop for the first new demon makeup he does, because it's all kind of been the same. I want to see, like that. But if he just kind of comes out and is like, it's whatever, who gives a shit? I don't, like I'll still love, like Fergal, because, you know, Bullet Club's for life. But...
And he's just such a happy boy who loves playing with Lego, and that's my favorite thing about Finn Balor.
And that's the great thing about his heel turn. He still loves playing with Lego, he just does it maliciously.
He comes out with a bat made out of Legos.
I just like that he's like, since he's heel, he's using the Bloody Sunday, like, finisher more.
Yeah.
Like, I like that, because I was getting real tired of the coup de grace, because, you know, he doesn't extend his legs, so it looks like a half-ass senton.
Yeah.
You know, like Ruby Riot's, you know how Ruby Riot's finishes like the top rope senton, which every time she does, I'm afraid she's just gonna crack the back of her head and then that's it.
Yeah.
Just knock herself cold. That's like Finn Balor looks like he does that, but he doesn't commit.
Well, now let's get into some predictions, and I will say my favorite thing is when I looked up Crown Jewel, I found an article from CNET that says Crown Jewel 2019, start times, how to watch it, and why you shouldn't watch it. I thank you very much.
I like how they're playing both sides of that. By the way, this pay-per-view isn't racist, it's fascist. There's a difference.
Okay. Well,
it is authoritarian.
It's authoritarian. Yeah, they're not targeting any other, like, unless you, like, no, the ones they want themselves, that's also politically motivated, so that's fascist too. Yeah, no one is being racially targeted by this. Well, like, kind of.
Yeah.
There's some exploitation, but it's not, like, discriminatory, I guess. I don't know.
All right.
I'm white. What do I know?
They're a bunch of assholes, okay?
Yeah, there are. We all hate them. But, like, and we hate WWE for this pay-per-view.
The government sucks.
Well, let's start with a 20-man battle royal where the winner will face AJ Styles later in the night for the U.S. Championship. And there's a lot of fucking dudes, and I'm just not gonna bother with reading all of them. Because when you've got names like Drake Maverick and Mojo Rawley, I'm like, I don't feel like I need to bother saying those names, because we're not gonna pick them.
I mean, like, who are the baby faces? There's Ryder, Sin Cara.
Humberto.
Humberto's, like, borderline heel.
Really? I don't think so. Not from the way they've been presenting him on Raw. But,
I think on 205 Live, he, like, skirts the line more.
Okay. Do you think they'd be dumb enough to have a Singh brother win and they're, like, fucking close enough, right?
No.
You
No,
think
they're
they'd
not.
be that dumb?
R-Truth is gonna come out and try to pin one of them during this Royal Rumble. Don't
Yeah.
let him.
I'm gonna say, I'm torn between two right now, and I hope to God they're in here because let me look up it. Is Buddy Murphy
Buddy
in it?
Murphy is in it.
I'm gonna pick Buddy.
I'm gonna actually say Humberto. Because they've been presenting him really strong. He's been having some great matches. He had a great match with AJ Monday. So then it's just a good through line of those two continuing a rivalry.
And Humberto was the guy that Seth had a match with, right?
Yep, both of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good match
thought
with
so.
either. Ricochet's not in it, right?
No.
Oh,
but this is a fucking who's not of fucking the roster at this point.
fuck it. I'll take Sin Cara. He got a new manager recently. He seems like he might be they might be starting to do something with him again.
Unless, of course, they reenact that broken trampoline spot that they put in 2K20.
Wait, they did?
That wasn't even this Sin Cara. That's the problem. Also, I want him to start using his new mask. They put him in the original mask. I don't want that. I want his new, like, cool mask with, like, the contacts, like...
Well, do they beat AJ? That's the next match.
Fuck no.
No way.
Yeah, no. I love Humberto, but no, he's not.
No. Also because he just had that match. Like, I'm pretty sure they're not going to double up for it. That's why... Honestly, Buddy Murphy's a better pick, but I like it when we pick different things. That way, we're all against each other, and we're just like, no, fuck you, no, fuck you. It's like that scene from The Office where everybody's got finger guns pointed at each other. That's how I feel all our predictions when there's more than two people should go.
Yeah. Now a match that cannot be stopped for any reason. It's probably going to be stopped for some reason. A false count anywhere match for the Universal Championship as Seth Rollins, who pinned a man using a forklift, faces the Fiend Bray Wyatt.
You know what? I hope it's Bray Wyatt. That's it, really. No, no, we're continuing on. He got a new gimmick, so the Bray Wyatt pick is back. Every time, everywhere, we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back.
And the best part is, you're going to get it eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah.
I got it eventually, too. I got it at WrestleMania. Don't you remember?
Yep.
Scotty was there. Scotty was there. He saw how sad I was when he lost. He's like, God damn it, I had finally started momentum with this.
Yeah. Seth. I'm sorry, Seth.
You remember, like, years ago in one of the other drafts, someone got drafted to either Raw or SmackDown, but they had a match for the championship on the other brand, which they won, which was, they showed that it was just a way to, like, get them, like, on that other one, and then false turn. I'm 90% sure that's what this is, because of all of the people that you could have, like, lost on Raw. Why would you lose Bray Wyatt? No one would do that. They would have lost, like, the whole OC rather than lose Bray.
Now, I agree. I want Bray Wyatt to win.
There's no way they can end this without pissing off everyone. And this is me at watching them at the edge of the cliff being, don't jump. And then you two assholes are telling them to do a flip on the way down.
Night.
Well, now, speaking of the OC, a 9-team tag team turmoil match to determine the best in the world of tag teams. The New Day versus the Viking Raiders versus the Dark Horse Heavy Machinery, Lucha House Party versus Hawkins and Ryder versus the Revival versus the OC versus Ziggler and Rude versus the B Team.
Isn't Ryder in that, like, freaking Rumble to start the show?
No, he's not.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw his ass in that picture.
Revival, maybe? To keep him in the company?
I guess. I don't know. I still think they're going... Dude, as soon as NWA Power started, I was like, that's where they're going.
Yeah.
I think that... I know our boy is hurt, and I'm going to talk about that later. But I think the New Day. I think even without X, they'll pull something out.
All right.
Okay.
So, because we have to continue the standoff shoot-off, I'll pick... I'll pick the OC just because it's like Bray Wyatt. I have to be right eventually.
Up next, a match with the first ever Saudi Arabian WWE superstar versus it doesn't fucking matter, but Cesaro.
Yeah. When's Cesaro's contract up? I'm actually... There are so many people I see pulling a WCW, but just for creative purposes, just to be like, dude, I just anything but this. I think Jack Swagger even said that they keep people in the weeds and they keep them like lost so that it's easier to control them, which sounds corporate. But yeah, no, it's Mansoor. Yeah, no. As much as I love Cesaro and would love to, I hope he doesn't have to wrestle in dress pants again.
Yeah. Yep. 1,000% Mansoor.
Yeah, okay, so it's 3 Mansoors. Brock Lesnar versus Cain Velasquez for the WWE Championship. They could do some real shit here, couldn't they?
But they ain't.
But they ain't, though. It's Brock.
Yeah. Brook Lesnar.
Broke.
Because unless they're trying to, like, get eyes on this pay-per-view by having a major... that like big wow factor, and no, they don't care. It's that. Honestly, I probably shouldn't have picked Bray Wyatt in retrospect because I forgot. No, I changed that pick back to Seth Rollins. I forgot.
Okay.
I forgot that this isn't a real pay-per-view. This is just an international house show that they market and that they make everyone feel
makes them millions of dollars,
and it makes me feel sad. So yeah, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar.
All right.
And when you think about that match, because I'm not going to watch it, just remember that Kofi died for this.
Yeah. Braun Strowman versus Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury, because Saudi Arabians use this show to bring in like MMA and like boxing. So if the MMA guy is going to lose, the boxing guy has to win. And boxers, historically, great winning percentage in WWE.
Yeah.
It is very true. I didn't think about that.
I say Tyson or a DQ finish. Braun's not going over clean, but either Tyson or DQ.
I'm going to pull my punches right here. I'm going to say Braun.
That's fair. That's just
all right.
Solid. It's a solid pick. It could go that way. I'm just like, after all this shit, why bring him in to job him out? Kane, at least, you're going to have for a while.
Yep.
And now finally in the main fucking event... fucking Roman, Rusev, Ricochet, Ali, and Shorty fucking G versus Randy Orton, King Corbin, Bobby Lashley, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Drew McIntyre. In a Survivor Series oh wait, it's not Survivor Series. I'm sorry, guys.
This is a weird fucking spread for each team, huh?
It really is.
Although I do love I thought Orton was on Flair's team originally.
He is.
He is.
He's the captain.
Okay. Did I mix them up then?
Yes. So, this is a racist pay-per-view apparently. I have Team Hogan.
I do as well, Team Hogan to end this racist pay-per-view.
But I would like to point out for the record that this is weird since Rusev is like technically kind of babyface. Isn't he on Flair's team?
No. He's on Hogan's team, and
he's
Lashley
on Hogan's
is
team.
on.
That's fine then. But like Flair's team, if you look at it on paper, way better. Like overall, top to bottom. So you got Orton, got McIntyre, like the whole lineup's there. And then Team Hogan is just like, Shorty G can be on the team. It's like picking the last kid in dodgeball. You're like, oh, nobody picked him? Yeah, sure.
Which is
That
what
dude.
Shorty G's new gear looks like, is the last kid picked in Dodgeball.
I told you, he just looks like Cassius Ohno's little brother. Where's that poster? I haven't seen it on Reddit yet. You said you were working on it.
Well, I was busy working on a few things for patreon.com/a-load-of-BS. That's the website where you can support the Fight Boys. You get shouted out on the show of your choice every single week like that absolute motherfucker, the Patreon champion Ghazi. You get access to our Discord where we hang out and chat with you, and you get access to me and Blake's show, You Paid for This, where we watch absolutely terrible, shitty movies and commentate over them. The Fight Boys have done Ready to Rumble. We just did Goosebumps 2, and if you want it, you can get it at patreon.com/a-load-of-BS. Now, who we tweeting? And I don't want to get blocked by Hogan, but I will just send some what the fuck you racist ass bitch to him.
No, at Hulk Hogan, good to see that you're a real, and then in parentheses. Is it parentheses? What's the half a circle?
Yeah, that's a parentheses.
I never remember. So in parentheses, racist American? Have fun in Saudi Arabia.
Have fun in... You fucking tan fuck.
Okay, don't put that shit in there. My tweet at least was like, funny, kind of.
You American hero. Hashtag Hulk Watch. Hashtag don't follow us.
Did you put real, in quotes, racist American? That was the whole heart of the bit.
So, boys, we've talked about a shitty pay-per-view, so let's bring in a little joy with our baby faces and heels of the week.
So my babyface of the week is fucking bored Xavier Woods. Because as most people know, he tore his Achilles at a house show, and ever since then, he has been posting pretty much daily, if not hourly, videos of him being bored as shit.
My favorite thing is that Liv Morgan still, did up, down, down with him, which means that Liv Morgan just has that much time.
Right?
Yeah.
And one of my favorites that he posted was, he was acting like the angel and devil on his shoulders. You know you want to do it. You know you want it. It's like, no, you can't do it. You gotta keep your figure. You gotta be able... And then he just breaks... And he just mushes up some Cool Ranch Doritos with chocolate ice cream and just starts going at that shit. And it was the best, worst thing I've ever seen.
But, he lives in Atlanta. We could we could tweet X and just be like, hey, can we come hang out and play 2K20? We do it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, go for it.
Yo, at Xavier
You missed
Woods.
You missed the bit where Blake and I officially announced that our real life goal is to be blocked by everyone in the WWE. Most importantly, their official account.
I mean, we just have to... We keep doing it until someone sends it. I mean, if we really have to scrape the bottom of the barrel, let's just say stuff about Punk.
So my baby face of the week is CM Punk. And I swear to God, that was not a lead-in. So CM Punk is actually currently doing interviews and shit to promote his weird horror film that involves a lot of jizz, apparently, called Girl on the Third Floor, and he's going back into the wrestling well, and it's very, very good. There's bits of... Okay. Yes?
No, please continue.
So, I feel like Blake is fixated on the jizz part of this entire situation.
It's why is it just jizz?
Because it's a film about toxic masculinity, and so therefore they are portraying that by having the house spray jizz on CM Punk. It's a very...
and the jizz is toxic. That's where the toxic masculinity comes in.
Yes. But,
So back to the actual wrestling part of this. The two of you can talk about this shit on your own show.
well... He's just doing he did something where essentially he sat down and watched the opening scene to Ready to Rumble and Nacho Libre and The Wrestler and basically evaluated all of the, and it was awesome during The Wrestler because he was like, do you see the flag on the microphone? That's for Ring of Honor Wrestling. I wrestled in this exact building that they're in right now. And you could see his face lighting up as he's talking about his past of wrestling. But my favorite part in the whole thing is when it
Oh, it was
gets...
Grammar Slam?
What?
He brought Grammar Slam back.
Oh yeah, he did bring Grammar Slam back too, which was very good. My favorite one of that though is when he gets to the scene from Spider-Man. He goes, "Fuck yeah, I know this scene. Bonesaw is ready," and he just starts quoting it.
That was good.
But my favorite story to come out of this is when he was talking about he's getting a tattoo of Harley Race, and he goes, "Not a lot of people talk about Harley Race, but Harley was amazing, and he was like one of the few guys who wouldn't shame me for not drinking, because one night, I think it was for Harley's birthday, there was a round of shots being bought, and the waitress brings a shot to Punk, and he goes, "Do you have like a shot of soda or something I could have instead?" And she goes, It's Harley fucking Race. Like, how are you not gonna take a shot of liquor with him?" And he goes, "I don't drink." And Harley just stumbles over and is like, "Hey, the kid don't drink." And Punk goes, and that was it. That was the issue was over at that point, because Harley didn't care who I was. And then later he goes, "But I did get upset about the fact that I didn't get to take a shot with Harley Race, so I belly up to the bar and I asked him if they had milk. And I forced that woman to pour us 20 shots of milk. And I brought them over to Harley, and Harley looks at me and goes, 'Punk, is that milk?' 'Yes, Harley, it is.' 'All right.'" He just like picks up a shot of milk and does a big shot of milk with Punk.
See, for every like negative Harley Race story, I know there are positive Harley Race stories, and I really think it's like a whole style problem.
Yeah.
But my babyface of the week is the Kabuki Warriors, who are, and I said this in the show, are the only thing I pop for the WWE anymore whenever they show up. Because one, they have now become full anime villains.
Yes.
Like they posted a picture of the two of them with Shinsuke, and I was like, this looks like a the thing that the protagonist would see on like a big screen of like the villains like posing. And then, like, Nakamura would just, like, say some insulting shit in Japanese. Like, that's exactly what this looks like. And the Pirate Princess is dead. They now have matching Kabuki outfits, which, like, on the one hand, but on the other hand, she wasn't really embracing, like, the evil side of pirates. She was kind of conveniently ignoring all the rape.
She didn't bring a fucking cannon out to ringside and shoot their opponents.
She didn't steal from anybody. She didn't like murder anyone. Except her elbow looks like murder from the right angle.
Yeah.
And
she didn't take what she could, gave nothing back, all that shit.
But yeah, no, they like Kairi during the Raw segment where they were doing just hadn't said some stuff in Japanese and then just had this maniacal laugh.
Yeah.
Like before she seemed kind of innocent to Asuka's time, but she fully embraced it. Fully 100% on board.
I did like that they redid the heel turn this week because they were like, I don't think the audience gets it yet. Like, I don't think they fully realized.
Because it wasn't even really a heel turn because Paige was being a bitch. She was like, I did all of this. I brought them together. And then Asuka said some stuff and then posed and she was like, this is my mic. And then Kairi took it and then fell on the floor. She was like, you guys. And then Asuka did the most casual green mist blow ever. Like somebody took a frame of it. And I was like, this is art. Because she doesn't, a lot of the time they'll move forward and it'll be like an aggressive, snake-like motion. No, standing stark upright, just just green mist in the face. The contrast along that, that whole thing, beautiful. Some people were like, I really wish Paige could bump so she could sell the green mist more. And I was like, it wasn't like they were kicking the shit afterwards. She was just like, oh, she's blind. And then Kairi twirls her freaking umbrella and Asuka dances. And I was just like, yeah, this is what I wanted. Also, oh, never mind. I'll bring it up later. But yeah, no, everything about that. Do they have an official shirt? Scotty, did the Kabuki Warriors have an official shirt? If is it just Asuka's shirt?
No, I think they have an official shirt, but I feel like it's from their babyface run, so they don't have a heel shirt yet, which I feel like will look a lot more badass.
I'm sad because the heel shirt could have just been Asuka's bleeding from the eyes and mouth thing with wearing a pirate hat, and then that could have just been Kabuki Warriors, and you could have just sold 500,000 of those. But no.
Well, my heel of the week is, this is historic. This is the first AEW heel of the week, and it's Brandy Rhodes. And let me be clear, not the person. I love Brandy as a person. She's done amazing things for AEW. She's done the what are the private rooms they have for people with like autism and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Oh, the sensory-friendly experiences.
Yes, she's done that. That's amazing. But the character is just so trying to be Stephanie McMahon, and I don't, because here's what it is. Cody Rhodes is genuinely probably one of my favorite characters in wrestling right now, because he's this guy who is clearly trying to fight against his old enemy in WWE, but he's still trying to retain being a good person, but he's surrounded with people like MJF and Brandy, who are these negative influences on him that cause him to do bad things. He is straight up the Macbeth of pro wrestling, and I love it.
But the thing
and
is
Brandy
Brandy still does good things though, like with him, like helps him, like she, like it's this weird like Jekyll and Hyde bit, which is why I can still stomach it. The stuff that she does with Cody is what makes it interesting and palatable. If she was just like that all the time and then was like bitching at him on the outside and everything, and like being an ungrateful wife, then she would be Stephanie. But instead she's...
Well, that's what it is. When she's with Cody, it's fine. Because, like I said, earlier today I said, I'm not going to say who my heel is. All I'll say is Lady Macbeth until it just goes, oh, Brandy. Like, yeah. It's when she tries to go off and do angles with the girls that I don't like. Like, I liked when she brought in Kong, because that was amazing. That was a big flip of, oh, Brandy's going to add herself to the match because that's who she is. And then she brings in Awesome Kong and everyone freaks out. But this week... who was it in the backstage segment who just got randomly beat to shit by Brandy?
It wasn't random. They're going to probably expound upon it next week. It just seemed random.
It's not that. It's the way she acted afterwards. Where Brandy just started staring at the interviewer and like holding out her hands and pointing fingers at her. And I'm like, this is nothing like Brandy has ever acted in her entire life. It's because like I'm fine with a quote unquote heel turn. It's just that this one was, if the heel turn still seems in character, this seems like a completely different character Brandy is portraying. And I don't like that at all.
Okay, so like, It's like if you based your entire view of Ready to Rumble off the one good scene with DDP. Except in reverse.
Then you're saying I'm not allowed to have a negative opinion about anything in wrestling because it is a constant wheel. That's like being like, oh yeah, no, the Bray Wyatt-Seth Rollins match was amazing because it doesn't matter because it's a wheel because it's gonna keep going. There's not been a payoff yet. Like
No. What you were complaining about was Brandy the character. The problem was Brandy in that one segment when there was no context.
Yeah.
You needed to be more specific. That's why I was like, no, it was just this one thing was done horribly. Like, the overall thing is still kind of, like, floating. There was just that one, it's like that one bit where it's like, oh, okay, it didn't quite go under. You did, like, because you found out who that other person was and what happened, and you were like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. But if they don't explain that, then yeah, no, totally 100%, this is, like, the turning point moment for it. But currently, it's just a bad segment. That's all I was saying. It doesn't become a full bad angle until you have at least 2 interactions.
Okay.
There's a minimum requirement to name something a bad angle.
Okay,
like
I'll accept that.
My heel of the week is a bad angle. Like the Lana Rusev is a bad angle. It's been going on for weeks. Apparently some people believe it's so bad it's good. A la like Broken Matt Hardy. That is false. There's no ratings to back that up. People still stopped watching in the 3rd hour. And unlike Broken Matt Hardy, no one is supporting this. There's no like I still don't know who's like, you know what people like? We'll bring this up, like, and then Rusev will be sympathetic, but then we'll make him turn on Rusev by making him want sex too much, and therefore being misogynist, except all of the men in the audience will look at Lana and be like, I can see it. Like, maybe
it's
I don't
so
agree.
bad, it's getting death threats. Lashley is getting death threats over this fucking angle because of how bad it is.
And listen, I'll be honest, and also possibly because he's black.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Your state exists.
There is a certain WWE demographic that is like, yep.
Yeah.
I was actually going to bring this as my heel of the week before I read a story earlier today, but why... I don't know who is making the decision to, like, end the fucking show on this angle.
Yeah, that was what was bad for me. When it was the first time the angle hit, I was like, okay, that's good, it'll get some eyes on it, but this is like a mid-card, middling angle that doesn't matter that much, so I'm fine with it kind of happening in the mid-card so I can fast-forward it through it. No, this week they're like, no, this is main event shit right here. This is getting the attention we need.
This is good shit.
Oh, that's the embodiment of good shit. That is the ultimate.
Rusev getting low blowed twice and getting beat up by his wife with a kendo stick. You know, domestic violence. That's good shit.
I did love how much he no-sold that kendo stick, by the way. Which, I don't know if I sent it to you guys. Someone gifted it and put Lashley, WWE, Rusev, AEW, Lana hitting it with a kendo stick, ROH.
Yes, we did get that one. It was good.
But yeah, no, this angle is just... I don't know who it's supposed to help, what it's supposed to help. It feels like the second coming of that... I think I've said this before, that Ziggler, Summer Rae, Lana Rusev angle from like, what was that, 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
There's been four separate Lana cheating angles. There was the Aiden English one. There was the Enzo Amore one. There was the fucking Ziggler one, and now this one.
Oh, there was also that brief segment where The Rock implied that he had fucked Lana. That was also
That was the best one, and it was 5 seconds.
Okay, my heel of the week. Going off of...
Real quick. Secondary heel. Whoever makes WWE's merchandise for like chain reacting the Jordan Miles thing that I had to read about. Fuck that guy.
Also apparently lying to him, because he said that like Hunter approved it, and then he went to Hunter and was like, Jordan approved it, and so at that point, and that might be Jordan speculating some shit.
Oh no, he had an email.
Yeah, he had like an email saying like, this is what H wants, and H was like, I thought you wanted it.
But no, this like just all their merchandise is so terrible. And like somebody pointed out, it was like there are a lot of great graphic artists like out in the wrestling scene. None of them are employed by WWE. They continue to employ.
Did you see the new Becky shirt?
I don't care about your problems.
It's I don't care about your stupid feelings, and then on the back, I am the man. And someone said, if it on the back had one of those, like, American flag with an eagle in front of it that's just like, this is my country, we speak English, get over it. That's what that shirt looks like.
Okay, good.
That phrase feels like something that Vince McMahon says every day.
Yeah, it feels like whenever he was using the roster to, like, insult millennials. That's really... Also,
yeah.
But listen, that's still not as bad as when Last Kicker was sold in men's sizes.
Okay, real quick though, I want to get to my heel because it's a fast one. Sean Ross Sapp pointed out earlier today that before last week, Seth Rollins was in 7 straight TV matches that ended in a DQ, a no contest, or a ref stoppage.
Yeah.
7 fucking straight TV matches.
And then the one this week ended with not any of that, but what I would like to call bullshit, because he pinned someone with a forklift.
Which is like, and his only, like, he had a really good match with Humberto. I was able to see some of it. It looked like they were just going at it. But it's just like, when you have your fucking champion in an angle where he and his, like, main opponent can't fight, then there are so many better ways to do it than doing all of this DQ stuff. All of these DQs, this is half of the reason why I stopped watching WWE in the first place. Because there was never anything conclusive on the weekly shows, so why the fuck do I have to watch it?
I still would... A better way to do it would have been if, like if The Fiend had matches... But, like, the match starts after his, like, light bullshit, and, like, the ref is like, oh, he's in the ring, ding, 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 and then he just mandible claws the guy passes out, and then the lights go out, and he just goes. And he just does that to, like, Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins level people leading up to it, and there's just a trail of bodies. Meanwhile, Seth has to keep, like, actually wrestling people, because he's not a psycho monster, and then you get to see this great, like dichotomy between the two of them, like, the wrestler versus the unstoppable force. That would have been a great way to build that. Then you would have wanted to see it.
And, like, the wall in the Firefly Funhouse that had all of the victims on it, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
That would be so much better.
Yeah.
Yep.
We should start our own show.
This summer, 2 men save the world. From who, you ask? Everything invading robo-penises.
This show is not about those 2 men. This show's just a load of BS. The show where Blake Tanner and Scottye Moore make up dumbass movies like that. We're your personal think tank. We're your 2 white guys, which fills the quota for a podcast, I think.
And we're just gonna be here to have a good time and talk about sauerkraut.
That's right, except no substitutes, ladies and gentlemen, because this is that pure, uncut BS.
Good, uncut.
So, boys, we've talked WWE, unfortunately. We've talked AEW, and I'm not allowed to have negative opinions about them. And
No, you can. I just need context. That's all.
Okay.
We have context for WWE sucking. We have decades of it.
Yeah, but what I want to talk about right now is a show that's not going to have a problematic pay-per-view this weekend, and it is JWF that's revving up for Crossing the Line. So let's turn things over to Captain Tibbs and Silver Spoon for another episode of JWF Monday Night War. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to JWF Monday Night War. I'm your host, Silver Spoon, joined as always by a man who's been captain in this ship all the way since 1993. It's Captain Tibbs.
That's right, Sills. It's me.
That's right, Tibbs, and let me tell you something. This weekend, we have an amazing pay-per-view coming up because our developmental roster, JXT, they're going to be crossing the line into the JWF. And Tibbs, we've got some amazing matches lined up. We've got our champion, Momoa Curry, facing off against a JXT standout, the Jebeduk, in a match that last week was upgraded. It is going to be an Iron Man match, Tibbs, and let me tell you something, I don't know how Jeb's going to be able to handle that stipulation.
Well, Sills, I think that lanky little motherfucker is gonna pull some punches. I think he's got a lot of surprises in store. He's been a rising star for a long time. I think it's someone that's gonna give old Momoa a run for his money.
And you know, speaking of surprises, Tibbs, I want to take you back to last week on Monday Night War, where we had a scheduled match. The VWO were going to take on the JXT Tag Team Champions, Gods on Parade, when unfortunately the team known as the Dynasty came out assaulting the VWO, taking them out of the match, and then afterwards the JXT World Heavyweight Champion Houston Longhorn came out to the ring and he assaulted the JXT Champions, but he didn't come alone, did he, Tibbs?
No, not at all, Sills.
What, would you like to elaborate, or are you just gonna laugh?
I really like to laugh at Sills.
Well, Tibbs, let me tell you something. He came out to the ring with a man who the JWF Universe has fallen in love with over the past year. The man known as Sam the Beer Man Adams, and both of them absolutely assaulted Gods on Parade. Nobody expected this kind of violence, this kind of vitriol to come out of Sam Adams, and I know it shocked you.
Well, Sills, you know, in the moment, I never would have expected that, but when you really look and read between the lines, you see how devious Sam Adams has been, how conniving he can really be, how he flings out all of these things that he flaunts, like America, and beer, and you really just don't see the real evil within. So him teaming up with Houston Longhorn, damn it, I have to say, I didn't like it. but I have to give respect where respect is due on a move like that.
That's right, Tibbs. And coming out to the ring right now are Houston Longhorn and Sam Adams. I hope they have some answers from what happened last week. Some maybe an apology. Who knows? So let's go down to the ring and have a listen. Do y'all see what happens? What happens when two of the greatest professional wrestlers in this company's history get treated like nothing but the threat they are? What happens is you see a deadly alliance, a two-man power trip that will stop at nothing until all the gold in these two companies are around our waists. You see, people thought of Sam Adams and I as nothing but jokes, one-hit wonders that did something big once, but now we're floundering in mediocrity, but that's nothing but the truth. I mean, they said I got lucky winning the JXT Championship. Sam, he got lucky by pinning a legend in this business in the form of Spider Lockhart. But you see, the truth is, old Sam and I, we don't need luck. No, we just needed our southern ambition, and that was enough. And it will be enough to carry us to the top of this industry. And we started proving that fact last week when we absolutely destroyed the team of Zeus and Falcor, gods on parade. You see, everybody likes to talk about how dominant they are, how they've never lost a match in this company that mattered. Well, we're here to prove them wrong. And that's why this Sunday...
Hold on a little bit, just wait a second. Let me come out here, let me...
It's gods on parade. Zeus and Falcor coming out. They don't look happy.
Yeah. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I've been dragging. You know how it is. Oh, Mr. Houston Longhorn. You think you got the upper hand on us last week, didn't you? No? Oh, I'm very sorry to say, though. So once again, you did just get lucky. You got lucky convincing a JWF superstar without absolute failures that you are. But that is because Sam Adams doesn't tune into JXT every week. Sam Adams doesn't sit and watch as you bumble around and simply fail upwards into the spot you're in now. Sam Adams did not realize that aligning himself with you, very big mistake. I'm sorry to admit it, Sam. Really bad idea there, okay? But if you don't think that now, then we will be more than willing to show you this at Crossing the Line this.
Oh, Tibbs! Looks like somebody's coming out. They may disagree with Falcor challenging for that match. It is the team of the BWO, Justin and Griffin Clouds, unfortunately not flanked by their brother, the Hammerman, coming out to stop Falcor in his tracks. And Tibbs, I gotta say, that might be good. Falcor sounded like he's had a little bit too much dragon fire today.
Only a little bit, Sil. Sometimes he gets a little hopped up when he knows he's making an appearance. Let's see what Griffin Clouds has to say. Hey, I'm sorry, boys. Sorry, but you're not getting off that easy. I'm sorry to say, Gods on Parade. If you just haven't forgotten, you still owe us a match for your JXT Championships, and we haven't forgotten about that. Well, last week, we may have gotten a little sidetracked. Had to attend to some family business. You know, our brother was brutally beaten down in the middle of the ring, but that's not your problem, that's ours. But see, we're now focused on what we want and what we deserve. And that is that gold around your waist. Alright, just stop. Sills, hold my place.
Alright, looks like Tibbs going to the ring. Gonna sort this out.
Alright, god damn it. You know I hate when I have to come out here and sort out all your shit. You know something? I'm looking out in this ring. I see two great matches for Crossing the Line. Got Gods on Parade facing off against the VWO on one hand. I got them facing against Sam Adams and Houston Longhorn on the other. I just can't choose. Why does the onus of choice always have to be put on Tibbs? Because I booked the damn show. Fine. Main event matches at WrestlePalooza quality right here. They're so astounding, and it's going to be great either way. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to choose. Tibbs hates making decisions. So here we're going to have a triple threat match. You six men want to prove yourself in the ring, then you're just going to go and goddamn well do it this Sunday in a horrible match. brutal match. It's gonna have you picking splinters out of your ass for weeks, even you, Dragon Boy. Yeah, this Sunday, Gods on Parade will be taking on the VWO and Houston Longhorn and Sam Adams in a tables match.
What, Tibbs, an amazing declaration. It looks like we've got the card completely fleshed out right now. We have got that Iron Man match between Momoa and Jebedick. We've got this amazing triple threat match, this tables match. And Tibbs, it's a stroke of genius.
Well, of course it is, Sills. You see, opportunities like that don't come along very often. You just gotta make the most of it, you know.
But Tibbs, let me tell you something. There is one match that is actually in jeopardy right now. It was supposed to be a 3-on-3 match as the team of the Dynasty, the Dylan, Scottye Moore, and Blake Tanner took on JXT standout Ghazi and his former teammates. It was supposed to be your son Chuck and the Hammerman. But as we said earlier in the night, last week, the Hammerman, he was horribly assaulted by the Dynasty. His head nearly crushed in a steel chair at the hands of Blake Tanner, Tibbs.
It's just hard to think about, Sills. All of them, all my boys hurt like that.
But Tibbs, let me tell you something.
Pisses me off.
Oh, okay, Tibbs. But let me tell you something right now. I mean, Ghazi, he didn't even have any teammates selected. If it wasn't for the Hammerman, and if it wasn't for Chuck coming out and saving him, he was gonna go it alone. And now with the Hammerman out, I mean, the whole match is in jeopardy. And we've sent one of our top interviewers backstage to have a talk with the Dynasty about their actions last week. Ladies and gentlemen, Don McDonald here with the 4 men that make up the most dominant stable in the JWF, the Dynasty. Now, boys, last week you declared that Ghazi's team for crossing the line was a joke to you, an easy night of wrestling. Which is why I've got to ask, why would you come out later that night and brutalize the Hammerman with that steel chair? I mean, you sent him to the hospital, and effectively you've taken him out of the match. I'm sorry, is this really a question? I mean, come on, isn't it obvious, McDonald? We were simply making our point last week. Because what we did to the Hammerman was only a small percentage of what we planned to do to Chuck Tibbs and Ghazi this Sunday. And it was clear the Hammerman, he just couldn't handle the heat, so he got out of the kitchen. He couldn't handle what happens when 3 of the best damn superstars come down on him with the wrath of God and leave him laid. And so we did Ghazi a favor. We trimmed the dead weight from his team. In fact, if old Chuck Tibbs wasn't on vacation this week, we'd kick his ass 6 ways to Sunday too. And you see, that's nothing personal against Chuck, just like last week it wasn't personal against the Hammerman. No, what we did to these men was entirely because of Ghazi. Because ever since Ghazi came to this company, he's always been trying to hide behind somebody, hide behind something, and we understand why he's hiding. It's because he knows that he's nothing but a small, pathetic little man that has no place in this ring with giants like the Dynasty. Which is why this Sunday, we're going to give Ghazi no place to run and no place to hide. No, we are going to beat down each and every member of his team until it is Ghazi alone in this ring against his greatest fear, the Fight Boys. And when Ghazi, and only Ghazi, is the last man standing, will we finally give him what he deserves? A reason to leave this company for good. Tibbs, looks like Scottye Moore has just added a stipulation to their match this Sunday. Sounds like it's going to be an elimination match. What do you think?
Well, so I don't know how well this is going to work with Ghazi being down a man already. Almost. Kind of scared for the top.
That's right, but I'm getting news right now, and it seems that Ghazi has actually found a 3rd man for his team. He's keeping it a secret from us, a secret from the Dynasty, but he says that this man will bring war upon the heads of the Fight Boys. And let me tell you something, I think this might be the turning point that Ghazi's team needs. What do you think?
Well, I will say a very good move on Ghazi's part, keeping it secret. That way the Dynasty, of course, will not be able to target him, whoever this mystery individual is that is apparently bringing war.
That's right, Tibbs. But of course, I mean, we've been talking about the tag team matches, the 3-on-3 matches, but the match that I am most looking forward to is a dream match in this company as our champion Momoa Curry, the god of the JWF, takes on one of the biggest names in JXT, the Jebediah, in an Iron Man match. And Tibbs, let me tell you something, when these two clash this Sunday, it's gonna be can't miss. What do you think?
Of course, Sills. I talked about it a little bit earlier tonight. But this is going to be such a good match. It's going to be a grueling marathon. And in the end, only one man will be up to claim victory.
That's right, Tibbs. But of course, ever since last week when Jebediah made the challenge for an Iron Man match, we haven't heard from the champion. We don't know how he's reacting to this new stipulation, but he is in our ring right now. And I think he's got a message for the Jebediah. Let's have a listen.
You know, I really should be surprised. I should be surprised at Jebediah's willingness to step inside that ring with me for a brutal 15-minute match that will literally not stop until that clock finally ticks down. You see, I should be shocked that Jebediah is willing to endure 15 minutes of literal hell to face me, but the truth is, I'm not. I faced Jeb a few months ago, and during that match, he showed me that he can go the limit. He showed me that no matter how much abuse he takes, he can get back up again. But I guarantee you right now, Jeb's gonna have to get up a hell of a lot more than he ever has in his entire life this Sunday. Jeb's going to be crying and begging for mercy, and he's going to look up to me and ask for salvation. And I will look back at him and whisper, no. Because he asked for this. The Jebediah asked for this. This really, Momoa. Oh, you're still on this whole dream match thing, aren't you? Jebediah versus Momoa Curry for 15 uninterrupted minutes. I'll be honest, it sounds like boring television to me. Now, in case you haven't been paying attention, the real main event of crossing the line is gonna come when Houston Longhorn and Sam Adams do the unthinkable and defeat the undefeatable team of Gods on Parade to claim the JXT Tag Team Championships. So why don't you and Jeb just make things easy on yourself and just call the whole thing off right now? Well, that certainly is an option. Or I could always...
Oh my God, Tibbs! Momoa with a huge shot to the face of Houston Longhorn, popping him in the mouth with a big uppercut. But no! Sam Adams from out of nowhere with a massive clothesline, leveling the JWF champion and now just raining shots down onto his face. Meanwhile, Houston making his way back to his feet, joining in on the brutality. Both of these men absolutely decimating the champion ahead of his match this Sunday. It's horrifying.
I can't believe these two have come to this. Not even leaving Momoa Curry for this match.
That's right. But wait a minute. Tibbs, there it is, the music of the Jebediah. The Jebediah rushing out to the ring, scaring off the team of Sam and Houston Longhorn, who are trying to retreat out into the crowd looking terrified. But Tibbs, let me tell you something. Is this a smart move from the Jebediah? If I was him, I would have allowed the beatdown to continue, making the match easier for me this Sunday. What do you think?
I don't think that's the kind of person or demon, whatever the Jebediah is. I think the Jebediah really wants to stand on his own merits. I don't blame him at all, Sills. If the Jebediah won after letting this beatdown continue, could you really even say that he won?
That's right, Tibbs, but now both of these men, they may be foes on Sunday, but right now, each of them holding each other's hands to the sky, celebrating with the JWF Universe, but oh my God! Jebediah from out of nowhere with a Duca Whirl, absolutely leveling the JWF champion, sending his skull into the mat. Tibbs, this is astounding.
Ah, there he is. Never mind.
That's right, and who knows, Tibbs, that may give him the advantage he needs when this Sunday he faces Momoa Curry in a 15-minute Iron Man match. But we're not only going to have that, we are going to see the team of Gauzy, Chuck Tibbs, and a mystery partner facing off against the Fight Boys. And most importantly, we're going to have a championship on the line when Gods on Parade defend their JXT Tag Team Championships against Houston Longhorn and Sam Adams, and of course, one of the most dominant tag teams in JWF history, the BWF.
Love it. Great pay-per-view. Good idea, Tibbs. Great idea, Tibbs. Pat Tibbs on the back. He had a good idea.
That's right, Tibbs, and of course, all of that is happening this Sunday at Crossing the Line on the official Fight Boyz YouTube channel. Make sure to tune into it to make sure to see how all of these matches end. But of course, if you want to see what happens after that, you're going to have to tune in next time to JWF Monday Night War. So Blakey T, it's been an amazing episode. It was so fantastic. Dylan literally evaporated into space.
Oh, it's fine. I'm sure he's okay. He'll be back next week.
But for now, what did you learn this week?
You know, I learned that, I don't fucking know. Racists are gonna be racist. WWE's still shit, and AEW is still my favorite by far. Although Power, Impact, it's all good. Except for ROH.
And I learned that my new goal in life is to take a shot of milk with CM Punk. But Dylan can be found on Twitter at Dick and Stormy. Until next time, Blake, where can they find you?
You can find me at Blake A. Tanner on the Twitter. You can find me at the Darkroom Vidya on YouTube. And also you can find me here on all of the great BS Network podcasts that we do, which is this one and the other one that Scottye and I do called A Load of BS.
And you were actually...
I also guested...
Yeah, I was...
Yeah, I guested on Opposite Attractions. Is it this week it's coming out?
It's out this week and next week. It is a 2-part episode. We play...
Yes, it was.
We play our buddy Jim. He made an RPG about going to Disney World called Surviving the Magic. It's a really great fucking game. We had a lot of fun. So make sure to check that out and find me on Twitter at Scottye Moore, SCOTTYEMO. Buy all my books on Amazon and check out all the other BS Network programs online at aloadofpurebs.com, including the brand new Show Me Again. If you've ever wanted to hear me have a fucking panic attack live on air, check out the latest episode. It's really great.
Special thanks to Mega Ran for giving us wholeheartedly, completely endorsing our usage of our theme song, Fighters. Go listen to Mega Ran. Go listen to all his music. Follow him on Twitter and, of course, his podcast, Matt Mania.
That's right. But of course, also make sure to rate the show, whether that be on iTunes or Podchaser. It's like IMDb for podcasts. It's a fucking phenomenal app. I really love it. And remember to support the show monetarily if you can. And as always, you can find us at aloadofpurebs.com. Step up to the merch table at merch.aloadofpurebs.com. Find us on Facebook, donate to the Patreon, subscribe on YouTube, and remember to follow us on Twitter at Fight Boy Show, Hulk Hogan. Except no, don't really, fuck you. Because when you're a fight boy, you're a fight boy for life.